Have you ever felt like you were caught in a never-ending cycle, doing everything you could, but still not seeing the results you wanted? You make efforts, but somehow, it feels like the universe is conspiring against you. Maybe it's your job, your family, or even the economy that you blame. You point fingers at everything around you, telling yourself that things would be better if only circumstances were different. But here's the reality. It's not the circumstances that need to change. It's you. For years, I was exactly like that. I had excuses. I had reasons for why I was stuck, good ones too. The economy wasn't great. My job didn't pay enough. I didn't have the right opportunities. My family wasn't as supportive as I'd hoped. I thought my situation was because of all these external factors. And the more I told myself that, the more I believed it. But deep down, I knew something was wrong. My life wasn't where I wanted it to be, and neither was I. It wasn't until a pivotal moment with a mentor that everything started to shift. One day, after listening to me complain for what felt like the 100th time, my mentor asked me a question that completely changed my life. How long are you going to keep this up? At first, I didn't understand. I thought, what do you mean? I'm just trying to make sense of everything. But he wasn't asking me to justify my situation. He was challenging me to look inward. How long are you going to blame everyone else for where you are? How long will you keep waiting for someone or something to rescue you? That hit me hard. I realized I had spent years telling myself a story that everyone else was to blame for my struggles. But when I took a hard look, I saw that my story was full of excuses. The economy wasn't holding me back. Plenty of people were thriving in the same economy. My job wasn't the problem. Others with the same job were getting ahead. The problem wasn't the circumstances, it was how I viewed them, how I reacted to them, how I allowed them to define me. It was my mindset that needed to change. Here is what I learned that day. Your life does not change when your circumstances change. Your life changes when you change. When you decide to stop waiting for things to magically get better and instead choose to take responsibility for your part in it. Change isn't about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about making a decision to start right now. Let me tell you a story about a woman I met a few years ago. She was at a seminar I was hosting, and she was at rock bottom. Her health was poor. Her finances were in turmoil. Her relationships were strained. She walked up to me afterward, with a look in her eyes that told me she was desperate. I need to turn my life around, but I don't even know where to start. It feels like everything is falling apart, she said. I looked at her and said, don't try to change everything at once. Don't think about transforming your whole life in one go. Just focus on the next 3 days. Do something different for 3 days. Change one thing. Just 3 days. She looked at me skeptically. 3 days? That seems impossible. But she agreed. For the next 3 days, she committed to doing things differently. She woke up earlier than usual, read something uplifting instead of watching TV, and started walking instead of sitting around. She made small, conscious changes to her daily habits. When I saw her 6 months later, she was unrecognizable, not because those 3 days solved all her problems, but because those 3 days showed her that she had the power to change. She didn't wait for a miracle. She decided to take small steps, one day at a time, and that was all it took to build momentum. That momentum carried her forward. By the time I saw her again, she had lost weight, built new financial habits, and started repairing her relationships. Her life wasn't perfect, but it was far better than where she had started, and it was all because she chose to take action for 3 days. 3 days. 3 days of doing things differently was enough to show her that change was possible. That's the power of starting small and building from there. It's not about perfect change. It's about showing yourself that change is possible, and when you see that, it becomes easier to keep going. I know what you're thinking. 3 days isn't enough to fix everything. And you're right. But here is what 3 days can do. They can show you that you are not stuck. They can prove to you that you can change, even when it feels like everything is out of your control. And here's the key to all of this: momentum. The difference between successful people and those who remain stuck isn't talent or luck. It's the ability to create momentum. Momentum is what keeps you moving when things get hard. Momentum is what turns small, consistent actions into big results. So I'll ask you the same question my mentor asked me. How long are you going to keep waiting for someone or something else to change your life? How long are you going to blame your circumstances, your past, or other people for where you are? It's time to stop waiting. It's time to start. The life you want is on the other side of one decision. Just decide to take action. Change doesn't happen overnight, but it can start today. Change is always within reach, but it requires action. Small actions, taken consistently, will always lead to growth. You don't need a grand transformation to begin. All you need is to make one simple decision: to act. 3 days of focused effort will shift your mindset. And when your mindset changes, so does everything around you. The question is, are you ready to take that first step today? The life you want, the success you desire, the happiness you dream of, it's all waiting for you. But the choice to change has to start with you. Before we continue, start now, even if it's just for 3 days. And remember, momentum begins with a single step. The next step is yours. This is the foundation of true transformation, and it all starts with the decision to act. Ready to take your first step toward a new life? The next 3 days can change everything. Before we continue, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to this channel to support our growth. Now that you've decided to take action, it's time to move beyond just a fleeting moment of change and build something more solid, something that will last. The real challenge is creating systems that support your growth. It is not about relying on willpower or motivation. It is about setting up your life in a way that makes doing the right things as automatic as breathing. Imagine for a moment that you're planting a garden. You can't simply plant seeds and hope they grow without doing any work. You need a plan, a system. You need to water, care for the plants, and remove the weeds. You need to follow a process that ensures the seeds have everything they need to grow. Success is exactly the same way. It's not about waiting for a breakthrough or a moment of inspiration. It's about creating systems that will allow you to thrive no matter what obstacles you face. You cannot just hope that your life will change. You need to build the structure for that change. Take a moment to think about the daily routines you have. What systems do you have in place to support your success? Most people don't realize that their habits, their routines, and the decisions they make every single day are either pushing them towards success or holding them back. So, let's focus on the systems that will move you forward. One of the most powerful systems you can implement is a morning routine. Your morning sets the tone for the rest of your day, and if you begin your day on the right foot, everything else falls into place. But most people wake up rushing. They hit the snooze button, scramble to get ready, and step out the door already feeling behind. They let the world dictate how their day will unfold. Successful people, however, win the morning. They make sure that the first hour of their day is spent on things that will fuel their body, mind, and spirit. The key to this is discipline, not willpower. It's about setting up your life in such a way that doing the right things becomes second nature. And this is where systems come into play. Let's break down an effective morning routine. It's not about trying to do everything at once. It's about 3 core actions that set you up for success each day. Feed your mind. Spend 30 minutes reading something that will inspire or challenge you. Don't read the news or scroll through social media. Read books that will expand your knowledge or shift your perspective. The key here is to nourish your mind with valuable information. Move your body. Physical activity is essential for both your mental and physical health. It doesn't have to be intense. Take a walk, do yoga, or go for a run. This morning exercise not only wakes you up, but also boosts your energy, helps clear your mind, and sets a positive tone for the rest of the day. Plan your day with purpose. Take 30 minutes to plan your day. What are the 3 most important tasks you need to accomplish today? Not 10 things, not 20 things, just 3. Write them down and focus on them. This clarity will prevent you from feeling overwhelmed and ensure you spend your time on what matters most. This morning routine takes just 90 minutes, but if you commit to it every day, it will transform your life. The difference between successful people and those who remain stuck is the consistency of their actions. Successful people don't rely on motivation, they rely on their systems. They have built a routine that supports their growth, and they stick to it, no matter what. Now, you might be thinking, I don't have time for all of this. But here's the thing. You make time for what's important. If you prioritize your morning routine, everything else will fall into place. And you don't have to be perfect at it. What matters is the commitment to show up and make those small improvements each day. One example that comes to mind is a man I once met, an executive whose business was failing. He was overwhelmed with work, his health was suffering, and his relationships were strained. He attended one of my seminars, desperate for a solution. I suggested he implement the morning routine I just shared with you. 30 minutes of reading, 30 minutes of exercise, and 30 minutes of planning his day. At first, he was skeptical. He asked, "That's it? That's all you've got for me?" But he agreed to try it. And after 90 days of sticking to that routine, he called me. His voice had changed. There was strength and confidence in it that hadn't been there before. He said, "I don't know how to explain this, but everything has changed. My business is turning around. I've lost 20 pounds. My wife says I'm a new person. This isn't a coincidence." This man's life changed because he made a commitment to a simple system. He didn't wait for the perfect conditions. He didn't wait until he felt motivated. He took action, and that small action created a ripple effect throughout his life. The morning routine was the system that supported his growth, and it helped him build momentum. But it's not just about the morning routine. It's about creating systems in all areas of your life. What systems are you putting in place for your finances? For your health? For your relationships? These systems are what will carry you through when times get tough. They will ensure that, no matter what happens, you're always moving forward. For example, let's talk about your finances. Do you have a system in place for saving and investing? Or do you spend money as it comes in, without any plan? The difference between those who struggle with money and those who don't is often the system they have for managing it. If you create a system where a portion of your income is automatically saved and invested before you even touch it, you'll build wealth over time without thinking about it. The same principle applies to your health. Do you have a system for eating healthy, exercising, and taking care of your body? If not, it's time to create one. Your health is your most valuable asset, and you can't afford to neglect it. Create a system that makes healthy living automatic, whether it's meal prepping, scheduling workouts, or getting enough sleep. Lastly, think about your relationships. Do you have a system for spending quality time with the people who matter most? Or do you let life get in the way, pushing those relationships to the back burner? Build a system for nurturing your relationships, whether it's scheduling regular check-ins with friends and family or being intentional about the time you spend together. Relationships take effort, and if you don't have a system to support them, they can easily fall apart. By setting up these systems, you're ensuring that your life doesn't depend on motivation alone. You're recreating a framework for success that will carry you through the tough times and keep you on track when things get chaotic. Systems create consistency, and consistency leads to results. When you put these systems in place, you're setting yourself up for success. You're building a life that's not dependent on luck or willpower. You're building a life that's driven by intention, by systems that support your growth and success. So, what systems do you need to put in place? What actions can you take today to ensure your growth tomorrow? It's time to stop relying on motivation and start building the systems that will carry you forward. Success doesn't happen by chance. It happens when you create systems that support your growth and make the right actions automatic. Build your morning routine. Set up systems for your finances, health, and relationships. And most importantly, commit to them. You don't need motivation, you need systems. Your growth is inevitable when you create the right systems. Now, it's time to put them in place. Your future self will thank you for it. Now that you've started, now that you've built systems and put routines in place, there's one more essential step to take: protecting your progress and maintaining momentum. Here's where most people stumble. They get a taste of progress, they feel good, and then they relax. They think, "I've done enough for now," and they let go of their efforts. But here's the reality. If you don't protect your progress, if you don't stay disciplined, the momentum you've built will slowly slip away. You can't afford to let that happen. This is where the real transformation happens, when you go from feeling inspired to committing to the long haul. Remember, success isn't about one big leap. It's about consistency. It's about doing the right things day after day, even when you don't feel like it. Momentum, once built, is powerful. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill. At first, it's small, but as it picks up speed, it grows bigger and stronger. Momentum is your greatest ally. It's the force that pushes you forward even when you encounter setbacks. The only thing that can stop it is if you stop. If you give up, if you lose faith, if you let distractions pull you away from your purpose. Let me remind you, there will be moments where you feel like giving up. Days when the progress seems small, when the results don't seem to match the effort you've put in. You will face setbacks. But here's the truth. Setbacks aren't permanent unless you let them be. They are part of the process. They're there to teach you, to challenge you, and to help you grow stronger. If you slip up, if you falter, don't throw in the towel. Course correct immediately. Don't wait until next Monday or next month. Don't wait for the perfect time. Start again right now. That's the secret to success. It's about never quitting. even when it feels tough. One thing I have learned throughout this journey is that life does not improve by chance. It improves by change. But change doesn't just happen on its own. It's something you have to take action on every single day. You have to be committed to the process, even when it's hard. Now, think about where you started. Look at how far you've come. Yes, there may be bumps along the way, but the key is not in the destination. The key is in the daily work, in the growth you experience in the process. You are not the same person you were 3 days ago. You've proven to yourself that change is possible. You've shown yourself that you are capable of more than you imagined. You are now building a life. A life that's shaped by your decisions, your actions, your persistence. This is the moment where you commit to something bigger than just today. You don't just want to feel good for a few days. You want to become a person who consistently makes the right choices, who consistently pushes forward despite the challenges. And that takes discipline. It takes self-control. It takes the commitment to push through when everyone else has quit. Let me share something that might challenge you. Real transformation doesn't happen overnight, but it happens through small, consistent efforts. And the difference between where you are now and where you want to be is not some giant leap. It's the accumulation of small choices you make every day. Every moment that you choose to keep going, you are getting closer to the person you want to be. Think about this. If you could improve just 1% every day, that doesn't sound like much, does it? But over time, those small improvements compound. At the end of 1 year, that 1% will have added up to 37% of improvement in your life. That's the power of consistency. It's not about making massive changes all at once. It's about committing to small, daily improvements that will take you further than you ever imagined. So, let's get real for a moment. Are you ready to push through? Are you ready to make that commitment to yourself and to your future? Are you ready to become the person you were meant to be, no matter the obstacles, no matter the setbacks? It starts with a decision. It starts with you deciding that you are going to be different. You are going to stop waiting for the perfect time, the perfect conditions, the perfect opportunity. You are going to act now and make every day a step toward the life you want. This is not a moment for hesitation. This is not a moment for self-doubt. This is your call to action. You have the power to change your life, but it's up to you to take that first step and then keep stepping. Every day, every moment, it's your choice to move forward. Before I leave you with this powerful thought, I want to remind you, you are capable of more than you know. You have everything you need to succeed already inside of you. It's not about finding the perfect time or waiting for things to align. It's about making the decision to start and then committing to the process, even when it's hard. Momentum is on your side. You just have to keep going. So what's it going to be? Are you going to keep waiting for someday? Or will you choose today to start your journey? The time is now. Your new life begins today. Keep pushing, keep growing, and keep striving for the best version of yourself. Don't stop. You're so much closer than you think. Thank you for listening to this powerful journey of transformation. I hope it's inspired you to take action and make those small, important changes in your life. If you found this message helpful and motivating, make sure to subscribe to this channel and join us on this path of growth. By subscribing, you are not only supporting your own journey, but also helping us grow and reach more people who need this inspiration. Let's continue this journey together. Remember, the life you want is 3 days away. It's 3 days of right thinking, right action, and right decisions. Start now.